Hello friends, welcome to Commodity Funda. I am Sunandh Subramaniam here, Senior Research Analyst from Choice Equity Broking. And today the commodity that I will like to touch upon is on natural gas, and natural gas is among the energy complex which is traded in MCX exchange in India, and in the international level it is traded in the US markets. To talk about natural gas as a commodity, natural gas is used in the industrial sector as well as in the domestic sectors, including the retail and commercial sectors, which is used even also in the power sectors. And the demand supply scenario is dependent upon majorly in the United States how the industrial production and as well as the US weather condition depends on year on year basis as well as on the week on week basis. So to talk about natural gas futures, I would like to give you some highlights regarding the US supply and demand scenario. Coming to the supply scenario, I guess everybody can see in this, and the supply scenario is currently similar compared to the previous week, which is another clear factor why the supply has not shown any major incline during the last week compared to the previous week. This is majorly due to the lockdown phase continued in the United States, which has led to lower increase in production in the United States. Moreover, if you look at the dry natural gas production and the marketing production has not shown any significant incline over the week on week, which is another clear factor why the natural gas prices may not show any major reflection on the supply side. And if you compare it with the last year scenario, the last year production is expected to be relatively higher compared to this year. So this is a clear factor that during last year, which was not on the lockdown phase at this point of the year, that is during February 2020, the production this year has been reported to be lower by approx 3 billion cubic feet. Which is another clear factor why the natural gas prices has shown an incline over the previous week as compared to the previous year. Last year, the natural gas prices was majorly trading around 120 to 140 levels. This year, the natural gas prices is currently trading around 190 to 200 levels. So overall on a year-on-year basis, the supply scenario has been gradually lower compared to the previous year, which has brought an overall incline in the year from last year 2020 to the current year 2021. Now coming to the demand scenario. And demand scenario, I would like to move this side and I would like to give you an highlights which are the clear demand factors in the United States that actually support the natural gas futures in the global markets as well as in the Indian markets. One of the clear factor is that the power sector, as I mentioned earlier, power sector, industrial sector, residential sectors, exports to Mexico and the pipeline fuels are one of the clear factors that determine the natural gas movement in the global markets as well as in the Indian markets. In the global markets, the NYMX natural gas futures is currently trading around 2.78 and we are expecting it to rise about to 3.01 levels. So one of the clear factors is that the demand scenario over the week on week has shown an incline which is around from 112.7 to 117.6. So week on week, the natural gas futures has shown an incline. One of the clear factors why the natural gas demand is showing an incline is that in the United States, we are currently at the winter season at the middle phase, and the winter season is expected to continue till 15th of March 2021. On a year-on-year basis, there is a seasonal decline in inventories as well as the rise in demand during this time of phase, that is from December to March 15th, which is another clear factor why the natural gas demand is expected to be higher compared to the previous year. Now coming to the weather reports. Now you'll be wondering what is the scenario in the United States that is actually driving the natural gas prices in India as well as in the international markets. So coming to that, I would like to give you certain highlights on the natural gas weather. This data has been majorly collected from the US CPC. CPC majorly mentions about Climate Prediction Center in the United States. And in the United States, if I talk about the temperature probability for the last 6 to 10 days, it has been showcased that the winter weather conditions in the United States to be relatively cooler as compared to the normal temperatures. And one of the clear factor is that the temperatures even for the time period of 8 to 15 days is also expected to be remain cooler. So an extremely cold temperatures is expected to witness in the northern parts of the United States, which is majorly the northern Dakota regions of United States, as well as in the Chicago regions. And if you look at the 15-day scenario, the temperatures are also expected to remain cooler. So since the demand for natural gas is expected to be higher during the winter season in United States based on the latitude as well as on the longitude proposition of the United States, the demand for natural gas is also expected to be higher. I would like to give you one more highlight about natural gas is that in the case of United States, the natural gas demand during the winter season is also reported to be higher as compared to the summers. So the winters are relatively cooler as compared to the summers in the United States, and that is why there is a huge demand for natural gas, especially in the power sector. Earlier where I mentioned about the demand scenario, the power sector demand for natural gas is expected to incline, which is another clear factor why the MCX natural gas futures as well as the NYMX natural gas futures is expected to rise on a week on week basis. Last couple of weeks the natural gas temperatures where United States temperatures will not show much significantly good, but then over the week on week there has been a very good cool temperatures, which is another clear factor why the natural gas prices is expected to remain higher in the coming weeks ahead. Now coming to the outlook part, now you would be wondering what would be the natural gas entry level as well as the target and the stop loss. So coming to the natural gas outlook part, I would like to give you a highlight that in the case of M6 natural gas futures, the current active contract is February contract in MCX, and I would recommend buying M6 natural gas futures around 202 levels, keeping a stop loss on 188 for the upside target of 230 levels. अगर मैं हिंदी में बात करूँ तो नेचुरल गैस का डिमांड में आने वाले दिनों में काफ़ी ज़्यादा बढ़ोतरी देखने को मिलेगा, खासकर यूएस में जैसे टेम्परेचर्स की अभी बात हुई थी, वहाँ पे ठंडी का मौसम बढ़ते हुए दिखाई दे रहा है खासकर 8 से 15 दिनों के लिए, जिसके वजह से मार्केट में तेजी दे सकते हैं। तो इसलिए मेरी रिकमेंडेशन खरीदारी की राय रहेगी 202 के लेवल्स पे आप खरीदारी कर सकते हो, 188 पे लेवल्स पे आप स्टॉप लॉस मेंटेन करके 230 तक का टारगेट रख सकते हो। तो ओवरऑल मार्केट में तेजी का माहौल दिखा दे रहा है M6 नेचुरल गैस फ्यूचर्स, मेरा रिकमेंडेशन बाइंग का रहेगा, तो आप करके चलिए। तो फिलहाल इतना ही इस सेशन पे। थैंक यू वेरी मच, wish you all a very happy trading week और do like, share, subscribe our channel। अगर आपको कोई क्वेरीज है तो आप कमेंट सेक्शन में बता सकते हो, हम जितना जल्दी हो सके आपके पास दोबारा आ सकते हैं। अगर आप नेचुरल गैस को लेके कोई डाउट्स है या दूसरे कोई कमोडिटी को लेके डाउट है तो आप जब भी कोई भी क्वेरीज हो आप कमेंट सेक्शन पे मेंशन कर सकते हो। हैव अ नाइस डे, थैंक यू।